Hi, welcome to my channel. I'm Jordan and I like to drink coffee and read books. I hope y'all are having a great day and are ready to hear about some new books that I've acquired. If you've watched my last video, which was my October wrap-up, I am feeling a little bit better but still not super great. So hopefully this video will go smoothly. It's actually easier for me to look at the screen than to look at the actual camera, so hopefully me looking sideways isn't too distracting. Okay, so let's go ahead and start off with this giant book haul that I have. So I've been saving up all of the books since my last book haul. Let's go ahead and dive into it because I've again acquired way too many books. Let's start off with Book of the Month books. I did get a book for September and November. So this is the September book, which is Play Nice by Rachel Harrison. And I wanted to read this book in October, but I just never got to it. I've heard good and bad things about it. Maybe not bad, just kind of things about it. This is kind of a haunted house story, I believe. And the bookmark is Plotting My Next Escape. That never came into focus, but that's what it said. Rachel Harrison, Play Nice. And then my November book, I picked Violet Thistlethwaite Is Not a Villain Anymore. And I'm right in the middle of recording another fall reading vlog, so I'm hoping to get to this one during that vlog, but we'll see. Reading physically is still a little bit difficult for me. But this one just came out in November. I'm actually not even sure that it's out yet. I think that Book of the Month got an early release. This synopsis says, Guy Shadowfade is dead, and after a lifetime as the Dark Sorcerer's right hand, Violet Thistlethwaite is determined to start over, not as the fearsome Thorn Witch, but as someone kind, someone better, someone good. And the bookmark for November is Booked for the Day. And then, since November is my birthday month, I got a free book, and I chose Wild Reverence by Rebecca Ross. Now, this is a prequel in the Letters of Enchantment series, which the first book is Divine Rivals. And I have both of those books in the duology in the Book of the Month version. So, since I was getting a free book, I decided to go ahead and pick up this one because I have been wanting to read it. Now finish out the trilogy. So I think this book is about the gods that were mentioned in Divine Rivals and the other one, Ruthless Vows. Oh, I can't turn like that. Oh gosh. So those are the three Book of the Month books that I have acquired since my last haul. And then I have three books here that I got at a free little library. After my last unhaul, I took a bunch of my books, I took all of my unhaul books to a free little library, and they had some there that I decided to pick up. So they had I guess these are the original versions, I'm not very sure, but definitely not the newer versions of The Bone Season, The Mime Order, and The Song Rising. And these are the first three books in the Bone Season series. I don't know what the series is called, but these are the first three books in what I assume is the original publication. I do have The Bone Season in the new version. Since these were free, I went ahead and picked all three of them up, and I am excited to get into that series. And I'm honestly not even sure what it's about. Clairvoyance in all its forms has been decreed a criminal offense, and those who practice it have been forced underground to avoid vicious punishment. A clairvoyant underworld has developed, combating persecution and evading capture. Sounds pretty interesting. Secret underground clairvoyance order. Then I have two books that I got from Book Outlet, but I did get books 2 and 3 in the Scythe series by Neal Shusterman. And I'm kind of disappointed because these have the real shiny covers, the glossy covers, and the copy of Scythe I have is not. It's textured and more like raw paper. And so I'm kind of disappointed that these ones don't match. These ones almost feel like they were part of a boxed set that then Book Outlet decided to sell separately. So I'm kind of annoyed by that because you know how usually box sets, they're kind of cheaper. They're made more cheaply because they're cheaper to buy together because they're made more cheaply. I don't know, but that's just what I assume. So I picked up the second 2 books in that series. And then I made an order from Blackwell's, which is a UK site, because there are some books that I prefer the UK covers for. So I went ahead and got We Hunt the Flame and We Free the Stars by Hafsa Faizal. And this is a duology. Is it called I don't know what the duology is called, honestly. We Hunt the Flames? Anyway, it's a duology. It might be YA. Zafria is the hunter. Forced to disguise herself as a man, she risks everything to provide for her people. Nasir is the Prince of Death, a feared assassin who is forever bound to the command of his father, the Sultan. Both are legends in their kingdom, but neither wants to be. And when Zafria embarks on a dangerous quest to return magic to their suffering land, Nasir is sent on a similar mission. But as their journey unfolds, an ancient evil begins to stir. I've heard very good things about this series, and well, this duology. And since it's a duology, it should be super short and quick for me to get through. Then I got Wrath of the Dragons by Olivia Rose Darling, and this is the second book in the Fear the Flames series. And since the first book I have is in the UK cover, like their special edition with the sprayed edge, I went ahead and picked this one up too. It's got this alternate color cover, and it's got these pink ombre sprayed edges, red on the top and pink kind of purpley on the bottom. And I don't think there's anything, see, that's a disappointing thing about this quote special edition. It's the only thing special is the sprayed edges. Like the naked hardcover is literally just blank. The end papers are literally just blank. So I'm kind of disappointed that I paid full price for this, because literally it's just the sprayed edge and the different color cover, but it matches my other one. And it does have a cool map, but other than that, like, why so expensive? Why so expensive? And then the next pile I have sitting on my desk, well, it's just one book. This is Small Town Girl by Lavrell Spencer. And I picked this up at Goodwill on the my book shopping day that I recorded and went on. I went to Barnes & Noble and I went to a couple different Goodwills, and I also went to my library's sale. And this was the only book that I found at Goodwill. I have heard good things about Lavrell Spencer and her writing and her books from Christy Reads a Lot. So I get a lot of my historical romance recommendations from her, and this is an author that she likes. So I saw this book for, I think it was $2, and went ahead and picked it up. So now for my second largest stack are the books that I acquired from Amazon. Now, I try not to purchase books from Amazon when I can help it. However, their prices are so significantly less than anywhere else. And I know you shouldn't support big whatever places, but I'm still not getting a paycheck. So do I need to stop buying books? Which I have. I have significantly cut back since the beginning of October. I think I've only purchased like maybe 3 or 4 books, not including my Fairy Loot special editions, because those are automatic. But anyway, that's besides the point. Let's go ahead and get into the books that I got on Amazon. So I picked up Gleam by Raven Kennedy, and this is book 5 in the Plated Prisoner series. Quite chunky, but it was on sale, and it's got the drippy edges. I've gone to Barnes & Noble, the closest one to me, which is an hour away, and then ordered on Amazon, I think 2 or 3 times. The first book in this series, Guild, and every one that I received does not have the drippy edges. The ones, all of the copies they had at Barnes & Noble, not one single one had the drippy edge. So I think I'm going to try to go to Books A Million, or when I go home for Christmas, try to look for it in a bookstore, because they got to match. So that's the one in the series. And then, since it was just my birthday the other day, my sister got me The Night Prince, which is the second in this duology. I do have the first book in here, and I have been dying to read these. Absolutely dying to read these. I've heard so many good things about them. I also have the audiobooks on hold at the library because I've heard that the audiobooks are also excellent. So I was thinking that maybe I could just immersively read them. I did pick up the first, I think this is book 2 and 3 in the Sparrow Falls series by Catherine Cowles. Book 6 in this series just came out, and I have heard Christy Reads a Lot talk about this series so much and how much she loves it, and she has so many different editions of this book. She loves this series so much. So I'm like, well, okay, I gotta read this series and see what it's about. So I picked up these ones with the sprayed edges. One of the books that I actually purchased in the last month is on its way. It's book number 1 in this series that I ordered off Pango so that I could get the sprayed edge. I think it's the romances, but there's like a mystery involved somehow. So I don't want to spoil myself. I like to go into all my books absolutely blind. I rarely read the back of my books before I start actually reading them. So I just go off recommendations of people who like similar books that I do. Trial of the Sun Queen. This one also happened to go on sale. Is this in focus? God, it's so hard for me to tell. My eyeballs aren't in focus. This is the first one in this series that I can't remember the name of. Why don't they put the series names on the actual books? Because some of us don't have excellent memories. 10 Women, A Deadly Contest, Only One Can Win the Sun King's Heart. I believe there are 4 in this series, and one of my friends at work, she read this series recently and she said it was really good. So I went ahead and picked up the first book. Based off of Lindsay from She Is Booked and Busy, her last book haul, she got this book, Forged in Blood, by Sadie Kincaid, and it sounded so good. Like, it sounded so good. I immediately went and ordered it off Amazon. Like, immediately got it. It is book 1 in the Broken Bloodlines series. And oh, there's no map. Let's read what it's about, since I was so convinced from somebody else's book haul. Every few millennia, a child is born. Some say they're marked with a curse. Others claim they possess the power of the ages. Meet Ophelia Hart, lover of classic literature and unicorns, an orphan with nobody in her corner, no family, no friends. But in her loneliness that fuels her life's ambition to become a social worker and help the forgotten children just like her, for a foster kid with only slightly above average grades, it feels like a pipe dream. Except it seems that someone is looking out for Ophelia after all. When her unexpected opportunity at attending Montridge University arises, she thinks her life is finally taking a turn for the better. Too bad she comes to the attention of the 3 ruthless, arrogant commanders of the Ruby Dragon Society. 3 of the most feared and powerful vampires on campus. But Ophelia doesn't believe in vampires, or in witches, or in magic, or ancient prophecies. I'm pretty sure the reason why I ordered this immediately is because it's white shoes. Because, yes, please. Until she has no choice. Little does she know she's about to have her whole world turned upside down because there is something about Ophelia Hart. Something that captures not only attention of the Ruby Dragon commanders, but also their powerful, enigmatic sire, Professor Alexandros Dracos? Their dad? Okay. With no idea of the power running through her veins, Ophelia must learn to trust the very men whom all others fear. And she needs to do it fast, for there are darker forces at work than those at Montridge University. Forces that were long ago forged in blood. This sounds so good. And also, please look at the art on this cover. Like, how pretty is that? It's so pretty. And then here we get to The Wolf King, the first book in this duology that has hit the book community by storm. I cannot wait to read this. once my hold comes in at the library, I have a feeling that I will be deviating from my TBR, unless I still need to read Alchemized, and I'm hoping to get to that this month. And I started Eldritch and haven't been able to freaking read. Ugh. And the audiobook isn't out yet, so I can't even get the audiobook because it hasn't been released. Guys, I tried reading yesterday, and I did actually read like on and off, and I got some pages read. Oh, but it gave me a headache. Okay, you don't need to hear my woes. This is a book haul. This is a book haul, Jordan. We're here for the vibes. Cozy vibes. It is freezing outside today. Literally. It got so cold last night. Okay, I know it's November and other places are cold, but this is Georgia. This is Georgia. And it was 20 something degrees last night. Like, it snowed in North Georgia. When I woke up this morning at like 7, it was still in the 20s. It was still in the 20s. Yeah, it was cold. It was cold. It's supposed to warm back up. So don't worry. It's just like a false, like, ooh, let me just like freeze and kill all your plants and then warm back up. So, anyway. The Wolf King. When a princess is kidnapped by an alpha, war rages between the humans and the wolves. But soon, forbidden attraction starts to grow. Princess Aurora longs to escape the castle and the marriage that has been arranged for her. But on the night before her wedding, at a dogfight where captured wolves are made to fight for sport, she spares the life of a young wolf. It puts her on the radar of the powerful alpha who was going to kill him, and it changes everything. Oh man, I'm so excited for that book. I need some water, and I need my head not to hurt anymore. I picked up Tower at the Gates by Scarlett St. Clair. This, I believe, is her adult fantasy debut, something like that. And some people have liked it, and some people haven't liked it. And I've heard good things about this, and I've heard some people not really liking it. So I'm interested in seeing what it's about because it sounds interesting. It sounds kind of like culty, religious-y weirdness. Beware she who bleeds, bound in chains. Beware the exile, the young winged beast who dances unafraid before fire. Beware the woman with many names, the maiden, the whore, the serpent, the scarlet serpent. Beware the temptress who whispers in the dark. She is the beginning and the end. She is peace and chaos. She is terror knocking at the gate. Estranged from her powerful family, Lilith Leviathan finds refuge in Nineveh, a district in the city of Eden devoted to sin. There she uses her magic to steal for a living, attracting the attention of the 5 governing families as well as the church, which expects women to remain pious and silent. When Lilith comes into possession of a beautiful blade, she thinks all her worries are over until her usual buyer dies while inspecting it. Very interesting. Now, this does have some very pretty end papers. And it does have a very beautiful naked hardcover. And a map on the reverse dust jacket. Very cool. Does it have a map inside though? That is the question. It has a pronunciation guide, which is good. List of families and places. No map on the inside. So this is the map that you would have to refer to while you're reading if you want to know where the places are that they're talking about. Then I picked up Slaying the Shifter Prince by Claire Sager. These are like a series of novellas, but are also like interconnected into their different series that they have. I think there are 5 of them. And they're like Slaying the Shifter Prince, Conquering the Shadow King or something. I don't know all the names of them, but I think there are 5 of them. And they're all like a series of novellas, but also connected to like the worlds that the authors have created, like their own series in. And so this is part of Claire Sager's big world. There are like a couple different series, and she has a whole reading order on her website, and this is one of the books in it. And so this one was on sale, and I like these covers. They're better than the ones with like the people on them, I think, at least. So this was on sale, so I went ahead and picked it up. Oh, and it's got some pretty art on the inside. And content warnings, and then that's it. And this is actually a pretty big font, so that's cool. 2 more books from the Amazon pile, and then we'll take a little break from books and do some bookish merch. So I got the deluxe edition of On Wings of Blood by Briar Boleyn, and I'm glad that I got this on Amazon because it was cheaper. Because again, the only thing special about this is the sprayed edge. It's the only thing special about this. This has plain, I mean, they're not plain. There's a design, but there's no character art. And it has a plain naked hardcover, no reverse dust jacket. Like, this is supposed to be the deluxe special edition, and the only thing special about it is that it has sprayed edges. Okay, sprayed edges are fine, but not for a book that's normally priced at like $32 or $33. That's expensive. That's expensive. And I get it. Books are expensive to make, blah, blah, blah. Everyone's trying to make money. But why are books so expensive? I've also heard really good things about this series. And the second book, I think, just came out or is about to come out. And I'm like, do I want matching editions? But I don't want to pay this much for it. I did get it for cheaper on Amazon. I think it was like $20. But still, $20 is a lot. I think she's like the last dragon writer, but she doesn't know it. And she has to go to a school with vampires or something. I don't know, but I've heard good things about the series. I think Laura from Laura Reads read it and really liked it, I think. And this one I bought because it's so pretty. And I looked at it when I was at Barnes & Noble on my book shopping day. So this is For Whom the Bell Tolls by J.C. Lynn. And this cover, let me get out of the way, is so pretty. And these sprayed edges are so pretty. And then it has character art on the end pages and foiling on the naked hardcover. And then character art. And then different character art. Okay, so this book is priced at $34. So for $2 more, you get foiling on the hardcover and character art. Make that make sense. Make that make sense. I don't know how I got a scratch on the back. That annoys me. A memo from the help desk. The following are for all future employees. Please note that these are not rules. If they were, the personality type of often drawn to the help desk would break them out of spite. They told her to go to hell. She went, but on her own terms. Lily isn't exactly thrilled with her arrival in the afterlife, but what awaits her there is more fantastical than she ever could have imagined. Deities stand in line at the coffee shop. Fae flit between realms. Souls find ways to make death a beginning. As she explores the many corners of her new home, Lily finds herself surprisingly drawn to a place most people would avoid at all costs: hell. Armed with years of customer service experience and pent-up sarcasm, Lily carves a job out for herself among hell's demons, directing souls to their rightful circles with more than a hint of sass. Lily's expectations are subverted every day in hell, especially by Belle, a demon general with a distractingly sexy voice. The two meet by chance and form an immediate, deeply healing friendship, and the undeniable heat between them threatens to combust. Meanwhile, something stirs beyond the boundaries of the world, threatening to destroy everything they know and everything that could be, unless they fight like hell to stop it. So that sounds pretty darn good. I got two different orders of book covers. So the first is, this is the first time I've ordered from Charlie and Fox. They are an Australian-based company. And I got 3 book sleeves from them. I got this cute heart with bees. I got a Halloween themed one with skulls and red roses and daggers. And then I got this fantasy one with dragons and crowns and swords. I guess it's upside down. And they all come with these little ribbon bookmarks. And they are like thin little ribbon, which I don't love. So the thing that I don't like about these book covers is that the elastic part of it is so far in. So the elastic part is what holds this flap onto the actual book. So I feel like this elastic should be way down here, because there have been a few books, even like thick books, that are barely holding on by a thread because this elastic is so far back. So I don't like that about them. They don't fit as many books as they could because of where they've placed this elastic band. Other than that, they're really good quality. They're made very well. They're made with good, sturdy fabric. And I like everything except where this elastic strap is located, because it just hinders being able to use it for some books. There have been a couple books I haven't actually been able to use them on because this back flap, this elastic doesn't reach the book because the book is too short. So even though there's enough material to fit around it, it's this strap that hinders it. And you'll understand more with my second ones that I have. These are from Flamingo something, Pink Flamingo, I don't remember. I'll link her Etsy store down below because I've ordered several book covers from her and they're all super good quality. So I ordered 2 fall ones from her. One is this pumpkin, different colored pumpkins with sunflowers. Other one is pumpkins with books and coffee mugs on a shelf. And you'll see where she has placed her elastic. It is right at the edge. It's right at the edge. So this will fit on any book that's tall enough to fit in. Well, the elastic will reach and will hold the fabric on. The other one's elastic is like all the way in here. So it makes it so much more difficult to fit on the books. And I also like that these ones have thicker ribbon for bookmarks. And I do use the ribbon bookmarks. Not all of the time, especially if I have like a cute bookmark that I want to use specifically for while I'm reading that book. But a lot of the times I will use the ribbon bookmark. And see, like it's right at the edge. It just works better that way. It just works better that way. So I noticed that I didn't have any fall or like Halloween themed book covers. So that's why I went ahead and made these orders. So if you watch the last couple reading vlogs and such, you'll have seen some of these around. Now let's go through the books that I picked up at my library sale. And I'm gonna go through these very briefly because I already went into depth into the books and read like some of the synopses on them in my book shopping vlog that I posted, I think it was the beginning or middle of October, something like that. So I got Heart Flame by Johanna Lindsey. And unfortunately, this is the second book in this series, and so I'm still trying to find the first book in this series in this same matching cover, which I've been having trouble doing because I don't have good used bookstores by me either. And then I picked up Devil of the Highlands by Lindsay Sands. This is a Scottish Highlands story. Then Remember When by Judith McNaught. The Shelters of Stone by Jean M. Ayul, and this is the 5th book in the Children of the Earth series. And then last but not least, and I'm not sure I'm going to keep this book because I bought it because the cover looked interesting and like they're in Scotland or something like that, and or Ireland maybe, and I'm not sure I'm going to love this. So this might be a free little library donation. And it's also like the second trilogy. It's like an interconnected trilogy, so I would have to read the first trilogy first. And this is the Stonewick Legacy. And I honestly think that I'm just going to go ahead and take this to a free little library and unhaul it. Because I just don't think I'm actually ever gonna read it, especially since I'd have to get the first 3 first, and it just doesn't sound that interesting to begin with. All right, time to pick up the next stack of books from the floor, because what you can't see right underneath me are all the stacks of books sitting on the floor because they don't all fit on my desk. We are swiftly losing daylight, and I'm gonna have to probably take a break to go cover up my plants because it's supposed to freeze again tonight. I planted some bush beans late in the summer season, early fall, and I actually got some green beans off yesterday. Covered my plant last night. It looks really good, doing good, so I'm gonna go ahead and cover it again tonight. And then hopefully the rest of the beans that are on the plants will continue to mature in the next week or so, since it'll be warmer. Excited about some beans, some green beans. Okay, the next stack are books that I acquired from Barnes & Noble. Now, most of these were pre-orders. I always get a bunch of pre-orders when Barnes & Noble does their pre-order sale. They have like I think 25% off all pre-orders like a couple times a year. So it's a really good sale. Also on my book shopping vlog, I picked up In the Veins of the Drowning, and I've heard excellent things about this book. I also talk about this book in that vlog, so check out that video. I'll link it below if you want to hear more about this book. Then I have His Grace the Duke, this is one of the books that I bought since the shutdown. I bought it for myself for my birthday. So this is the second book in the Second Sons series by Emily Rath. And these have been published before. These are just a re-release, and they've got these pretty sprayed edges. And I got the first book when it came out, and this is a Why Choose Regency romance, and so I'm really intrigued by it. But it's got this really beautiful cover, and then the pretty sprayed edges, which I showed you. I'll show you again, top and bottom. And then it also has some character art in here. So similar to the first one with the character art. So excited to get into this one. Then I got Fearful by Lauren Roberts, and this is the second novella in the Powerless series. So there are 3 full-length novels and then 2 novellas, and had to get this one to finish out the trilogy. I did see, I think on Instagram, that there was a reading order where you went back and forth while you were reading Fearful, or Fearless, and then Fearful. So back and forth, kind of like with Throne of Glass with Tower of Dawn and Empire of Storms. So this is just a little short novella. A little bit of foiling on the cover. This is not a special edition or anything. This is just the normal edition. Then I did pick up the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition of Throne of Secrets by Carrie Maniscalco. And this is the second book in this new series of hers, like newish series of hers. And I have the first one in paperback, so I went ahead and got the second one in paperback. It's got these pretty light blue sprayed edges. I don't really know much about this series, but it sounded really good to me. Here's a cool map. And since this is the second book in the series, I don't want to read the synopsis. Since I haven't read the first one and don't want to, you know, give away any spoilers, because that's no fun. And then there's some pretty art on the chapter pages. A book I am so excited to read because I love this author. I love every book that she's put out because I've read every book she's put out. And that is Good Spirits by B.K. Borison. So I got the first print edition with the sprayed edges. This is just the normal version. I cannot wait to read this. I think this is Ghost of Christmas Past. Yep. He's the Ghost of Christmas Past. She's not exactly Scrooge. Nolan Callahan intends to spend his holiday haunting like every other, get in, get out, return to his otherwise aimless existence as a ghost awaiting the afterlife. But when he's faced with Harriet York, the sweetest assignment he's ever had, he suddenly finds himself wishing for a future. So excited about this book. And it's got printed cover, inside cover. I'm just so excited about this book. I can't wait to read it. And there's supposedly the second one coming out next year, so. I picked up Burning Daylight, which is the newest series by Emily McIntyre. I believe it's a series. Yeah, Defying the Stars, book 1. And can you please focus? Look at those tattoos on his arm. Look at those tattoos on his arm. I mean, if y'all don't know, I like tattoos a little bit. And then these sprayed edges, like they're so pretty. And then this says, "You, Juliet, are the sun." And then the bottom, sunset. It's just so pretty. The colors are so vibrant and beautiful. And then he's like all tattooed and dark and dreamy. Oh my gosh. Then there's art on the inside cover. I wonder if there's art on the back. I think there's art on the back. Yep, art on the back cover. Please. I have read most of the books in her Never After series. Y'all, they are so good. They are so good. I've read 4 out of the 6, and those indeed are actually true standalones that are just in a series because they're all twisted fairy tales. So you can read any of them in any order. Truly, there is 0% connected, like 0% connected. So that's nice. You don't have to read those in order because I've read books 1, 2, 3, and 6. I was nervous because book 4 is based off of Jafar and book 5 is based off of the creepy priest from Hunchback. And so that kind of threw me off. So I skipped to book number 6. But then my friend at work, she read those 2 and she said, honestly, they were so good. I think she said book 5 was, with the creepy priest, was her favorite maybe? I can't remember exactly, but she said they're really good. That she wasn't creeped out at all by who like they were supposed to portray. So I really love her writing and really enjoy her stories. So I'm excited to get into this new series of hers. Then another pre-order is Every Spiral of Fate. And this is by Tahereh Mafi. And this is the 4th book in the This Woven Kingdom series. And this is just the normal edition of this book. I haven't read any of them. Oh, this spine's pretty though. That's pretty. Haven't read any of them. Don't remember what it's about. This is the 4th book, so I'm not going to read the synopsis. But there's some pretty art. Ooh, more pretty art. Yeah. Ooh, a little bit of Arabic. Anyway, cool. I'm so weird. Then I picked up the Barnes & Noble edition of Steeping of Blood by Hafsa Faizal. And this is the 2nd book in the Tempest of Tea series. The 1st book is Tempest of Tea, which I also have not read, but I have the Barnes & Noble edition of it, so I went ahead and picked this one up too. This is just in a different colorway on the cover. No sprayed edges or anything, just a different colorway. And this is the hardcover. But, oh, there's a little bit of art or foiling on the front. I mean, whatever. Words, Jordan. And then end papers. I think the back are probably the same. Yeah, the back are the same. Is there a cool map? I don't know. I haven't read the 1st book. Oh, there is a map. Yes. Love it. Oh, and some art. Cool. Y'all, it's like I read books and I just want to be able to get through more books. Oh, it's not every book reader's problem. Like, there are just always so many books that you're just dying to read. Y'all, this was probably one of my favorite books of last year. I can't remember all of the, I know I had quite a few that I really loved. And this was definitely one of the 5-star reads from last year. And that is Anathema by Carrie Lake. Now, this author has just, or this series at least, has just started to be traditionally published. And the author is releasing the indie versions first, and then a year later, they're being traditionally published. So, last year, Anathema came out, indie published. 1 year later, the traditionally published version came out. Eldritch was just released, indie, in September. Then next year, next fall, it's going to be traditionally published in a matching version of this. So, picked this up because these books are so good. Guys, you have to read this. You have to read this. It's so good. The sprayed edges with the ravens and the blue and Mavis. Ugh. Y'all. So good. So, got some foiling. Got some decoration. And then showed you the sprayed edge. Now, there is quite the glossary at the front of the book. And I know that can be daunting for some people to read. I would suggest reading it. It's honestly not that long. It's just a couple of pages. It really helps you when you go into the book to know what the heck you're reading. So, I really love this book. I really love the sprayed edges. I actually have a special edition that I ordered a year ago that still hasn't arrived of this book. That story is for another haul once I finally get that book. Anyway, so love, 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 love this book. All right, y'all. Now on to the largest stack of books, and that would be my Fairy Loot special editions. These are all Fairy Loot, no Lumicrates. I have not gotten an Illumicrate since July, which was Irresistible Urge to Fall for Your Enemy. Read that book, loved it. I did, however, get the November book, so that will be delivered. Let's start off with Savage Blooms by S.T. Gibson. This was October's Romantasy. Very cool cover. Not my favorite, but very kind of cool. The sprayed edges, however. Is it focusing? Y'all, hold on. Let me open up the blinds more. We're losing daylight, people. We're losing daylight. Okay. Anyway, they're very pretty sprayed edges. Freaking ridiculous. Okay. I don't have time to dilly-dally. I gotta get outside and cover up my plants. Now, this naked hardcover, very, very beautiful. Very, very beautiful. Love the art on it. Then we've got pretty character art. And then a reversible dust jacket. That's the original cover, just in a different colorway. So, do I like either cover? Not really. But the sprayed edges and the naked hardcover are awesome. This seems like an interesting it honestly seems kind of creepy, this book. It says, for as long as Adam can remember, the legends passed down from his world-traveling grandfather have called him to a crumbling manor in the Highlands. His closest friend, Nicola, longs for the same adventure as well as for Adam himself. She'll follow him just about anywhere, even to the remote wilds of Scotland, if he pushes the pair to surrender to their shared attraction. But when a storm strikes and strands them unexpectedly, Adam and Nicola find themselves at the mercy of the eccentric owner of the infamous house, Eileen, as well as her brooding groundskeeper, Finley. Trapped by the weather and bound by ancient fairy magic, Nicola and Adam get more than they bargained for when they become entangled in Eileen and Finley's world of mind games, deceit, and forbidden desire. As ancestral sins are unearthed, Adam and Nicola will have to reckon with the spell Eileen and Finley have cast over them, and whether or not they even want to be free. So, sounds kind of creepy, like these fae are trapping them or something. The Fairy Loot YA for October is Thorn Season by Kira Azar. By Kira Azar. And this is a beautiful, completely redesigned cover with these beautiful sprayed edges. We've got an absolutely beautiful naked hardcover. Like, come on now. Really, really pretty character art. Like, how freaking pretty is that? Then the reverse dust jacket is the original cover, just in a different colorway. I love this edition of this book, y'all. It is so pretty, and this book sounds so interesting. Found in letter from the author. It's got a cool map. This book is just so pretty. In the kingdom of Daradon, a persecuted few are wielders, able to exert a physical power that extends beyond their visible body. A shimmering tendril that can pick a lock, a gentle coil that reaches out to give a loving caress, or an inexorable rope that will kill a man before he knows it's around his neck. Feared and mistrusted for this ability, wielders have always been hunted. Yes, please. The adult book for October, Alchemy of Secrets by Stephanie Garber. And I have heard mixed things about this book. Some people like it, some people don't. But I am loving the 20s vibe. Absolutely loving the 20s vibe. So cool. And these sprayed edges, so fun. So fun. And we've got the Naked hardcover. Guys. And this is not picking up as vibrant green as it is in real life. It's so pretty. With this beautiful character art. Y'all. So pretty. And then the reverse dust jacket again. The original, just in a different colorway. This book is so beautiful. And I did get the overlays for the book as well. I decided, I think they were $8, and then the shipping was included because they just added it to your box, so that was not an additional charge. So I went ahead and got the overlays, which are the characters, which are so cool. This is the first set of overlays I've ever received. My Friends Would Be Alchemized by Senlin Yu. And when I tell you, I cannot wait to read this book. I cannot wait to read this book. I read Manacled at the beginning of the year. I devoured it. It's 1,000 pages and I devoured it. I loved it so friggin' much. So I cannot wait to see what changes and what's adapted and what's different. I've heard this story just ruins you. I've heard it just freaking ruins you. I can't wait. So I'm hoping that I'm gonna like this edition better once I read it, because I'm not loving the cover. I just don't love it. So maybe I'll love it if I understand it better. And I understand this. I understand the sprayed edge. I just don't love it. So I understand it though. I also don't love the character art. I really, really wish that they had gotten Avondale to do the character art for this special edition. And I know Avondale did all of the work for Senlin Yu, blah, blah, blah. But I really wish they had gotten Avondale to do the character art. Because I just think their character art's better. I just think it's better. And then end pages. And then the reverse dust jacket. Again, original cover, just in a different colorway. This one's more red. I don't think the map was included in the book. I know Senlin Yu posted the map to her Instagram, so if you're curious, go check out her Instagram because the map is not in the book. So excited to read this book, and it is huge, y'all. It is huge. It is huge. This is 960 pages. 960 pages. Woof. September YA is Never Ever After by Sulin Tan. This sweeping fantasy romance inspired by Cinderella and a Chinese fairy tale is the first in a breathtaking new series by the acclaimed author. Anyway, I think this cover is absolutely beautiful. It's got very subtle red foiling for the leaves and really pretty sprayed edges of the temple or whatever. And then the naked hardcover, y'all, is so pretty. Like, Fairy Loot have been mostly knocking it out of the park lately. Like, Look how pretty that is. Like, it's so pretty. And the colors, and I love this art style. It's so good. Like, look how pretty that is. I love it. And then the reversible Just Jacket is the original cover. Again, just in a different colorway. And I like this one too. I like them both a lot. Third quarter pick for the Epic Romantasy, which is The Bone Raiders by Jackson Ford. And y'all, I don't know if I'm going to keep this subscription or not. This is the third book that we've received, and they've all been very nice. Like The Devils by Joe Abercrombie, that edition is so beautiful. But I just don't know if I'm interested in these books. I haven't read any of them. I need to read them. I don't know. Like, this doesn't scream Jordan to me. I mean, it's very pretty. Like dinosaurs and bones and stuff. I don't know. I mean, I did study bones in college. And this is a cool cover. You know, kind of plain. It's got some really pretty art though. Like, these sprayed edges are really pretty. They're very colorful. And then the reverse Dust Jacket is again the original cover, just in a different colorway. And I like that they give us both options. Like, you can do the original cover, but it's still a little bit different, or you can do the completely redesigned cover. I do like that option. Let's go ahead and see what this book is about. Maybe I'll be more intrigued by it. I don't know. Because this subscription, you can't skip any of the books. So you either have to sell them secondhand or cancel your subscription. The start of an edge-of-your-seat action-packed fantasy series from the always irreverent Jackson Ford, where a wild band known as the Bone Raiders harness the power of gigantic fire-breathing lizards to defend their homeland. You don't mess with the Rakata. The people living in the grasslands of the tapestry call them the Bone Raiders, from their charming habit of displaying the bones of those they kill on their horses and armor. But being a raider is tough these days. There's a new great Khan in the tapestry. He's had it with the raider clans and plans to use his sizable military to do something about it. And then there are the Eraton, fire-breathing lizards the size of elephants roaming the grasslands in search of dwindling food supplies. I don't know. We'll see. A most anticipated book for me. Am I kind of disappointed with the cover? Yeah. And that would be Metal Slinger by Rachel Snyder. I was a little disappointed when I saw this cover. I don't know who this man is because I haven't read this book. But the sprayed edges are very pretty. And maybe I'll like it more once I read the book and I know who he is. I've heard excellent things about this book. Now, this naked hardcover, so pretty. And it's much brighter purple than the camera's picking up, just because it's kind of dark in here because the sun's going down. And then it's got beautiful character art. And then again, reverse Dust Jacket is the original cover, just in a different colorway. And I really like it. It's very, very pretty. Very, very pretty. And the second one comes out soonish. I think the Fairy Loot pre-order for it is in January. Then we have Immortal Consequences by Ivy Marie. And I have heard controversial things about this. I've seen several people on BookTube read it and not like it. So, but then I've seen people who do read it and do like it. So I don't know. But this cover, these sprayed edges, so pretty. They're so pretty. I just love these colors that they're using. And this naked hardcover is really cool. Got a quote on the back. It's got really pretty end papers. Reverse Dust Jacket. I am going to read this book even though people are saying mixed things about it. It's just so pretty. It's just so pretty. And I'm interested in it. If I wasn't interested in it, I would have skipped. Welcome to Blackwood Academy, a school located at the edge of the afterlife. Once a pupil passes through the Academy's arched gates, there's no way out, except if they triumph at the decennial. Winning allows a single student to be granted a choice: graduate and join Blackwood's magical elite, or cross over to the mysterious unknown other side. I have Catabasis by R.F. Kuang, and I do like the colors on this. And the cover, I do like the cover. It's nice. It's nice. These sprayed edges, pretty cool. I do like how they look. We're running out of daylight, guys. 2 books left. 2 books left. Now, this naked hardcover, so cool. So cool. Love it a lot. End pages, pretty art. And then this reverse dust jacket is actually an entirely redesigned cover. So this is a little bit different than the other ones have been. And I think I'm gonna keep it the original maybe. I might switch it, I'm not sure. But Catabasis by R.F. Kuang. I've heard very good things about this too. People are loving it. I have not read any books by R.F. Kuang before. Now, our last book is none other than Warrior Princess Assassin by Brigid Kemmerer. And this is such a pretty edition. Such a beautiful edition of this book. Now, I've read this book and I gave it 5 stars. It's so good, y'all. It's so good. I cannot wait for the next book in this series to come out. And this edition is absolutely beautiful. And the art, and just wait. If you've read this, you know what scene this is. Y'all, I love this book so much. Reverse dust jacket. This is a Why Choose about a warrior, a princess, and an assassin. So you have Jory, who is a princess in her kingdom, and she is in an arranged marriage with Kai, who is the warrior of a different neighboring country because they are trying to help each other out. Archer is the assassin. Jory and Asher, did I say Archer before? I meant Asher. Jory and Asher do some dumb things, make Kai mad. Y'all, it's so good. It's so good. If you want more of my thoughts about it, I actually did have it in one of my reading vlogs. I'll link the reading vlog down below in the description. 5 stars. 5 stars for this book. So good. Everyone needs to read it. Well, unless you don't like Why Choose. That is all of the haul books. I do have one unhaul. And that would be Dreadful, which I read in October. I don't want to say that it was in fact dreadful, but it wasn't great. Did not love it. Very pretty Barnes & Noble edition though. It's unfortunate, but I really did not enjoy this book. It was boring. Nothing else to say about it. If you have stuck with me this long, thank you, because I know it's a very long video. My haul videos are usually very long. So thank you for sticking with me this long. Please give this video a like and subscribe to my channel. And leave a comment down below if you like any of those books, if you've read any, if you've heard anything about them, please let me know. I would love to hear your thoughts about them. Please tune in next week for another fall reading vlog where I read some very good books. I am on the 3rd book of that reading vlog right now. So please stay tuned for that, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.